Hi, I'm Richard Smith. This is a presentation on barefoot running and active physiotherapy. So the first thing to say really is that I've been obviously doing a bit of reading around the subject. So what I've done today really is summarised my reading over the last few weeks. I could have spent 40 minutes just talking about the difference between barefoot and shod running, but what I thought would be more useful to people is to actually put it into some context with the injuries that we treat, and also look at a bit of evidence as well around orthotics and orthotic use. So to start with then, looking at the aims of the presentation, so a bit of a history of barefoot running, get an understanding of the risk factors related to running injury so that we can put it in some context, look at the differences between barefoot and shod running, look at the evidence for bare running in relation to the risk factors, evidence for orthotics related to the risk factors, and then try and draw some conclusions. So we're looking at whether barefoot running is fair dinkum. So a bit of history then. So the theories exist really, and there's a bit of debate about how suited the human body is to run. And more recently there's been a bit of talk about, within the Christopher McDouglas book, Born to Run, they mention things about persistence running where so our ancestors used to track animals for long distances across the across the land until they collapsed with exhaustion, and that was a way of hunting. So that's a theory, and there's lots of there's tribes around. So most famously the Tarahumara people of Mexico, who were in the thin-soled sandals, and most people would have heard of those. And then a recent rise in popularity of barefoot running, and I think we're getting more and more people asking us about barefoot running since the Born to Run book was released. So a few famous barefoot runners. So Abibi Bikila of Ethiopia won Olympic marathon in Rome because his shoes hurt, so he ran it barefoot. But then he actually ran a lot more races in shoes and won a lot more races in shoes as well. Bruce Tula, who competed in many races in the 1960s barefoot, and won a gold medal in the 62 European Games. And Barefoot Ted, who's mentioned a lot in the Born to Run book. This is a legendary guy who had back pain and all sorts of problems, and tried lots of different treatments and took up barefoot running and solved all his problems. And he's competes barefoot running. So what we'll start to look at then is injury risk factors. So we'll look first of all at shin splints. So increased foot pronation has been linked in a lot of studies to shin splints. Yates et al. Looked at a foot posture index, so they looked at the configuration of bony points around the ankle and palpation of subtalar joint, and found that there was a significant link with pronated feet